up, YouTube? So this is episode 2 of the complete NES library. I will be showing off every single NES game, the entire library. I have all complete. Every single one of them. So this is episode 2. Sorry it's been a couple weeks. But we're back at it. So, we're going to start off with Bandit Kings of Ancient China. I think that game's like the $100 one, or close to $100. It was one of my later ones. Actually, I think it was a different one. That was one of my later ones, but it's similar. There's a couple games that are kind of like similar to that. Barbie, my son's favorite.
No, it isn't.
My son's favorite game on the NES, Barbie.
No, it isn't.
No, I'm just joking. Believe it or not, that was in my like last bottom 100 to get. My last 100. Got the Bard's Tale.
Bard's Tale.
Can't tell you that much about that game. I think I just popped it in to try it.
Yeah.
Sorry for the glare. Trick Shooting. I got that one really early on. Some of them will be in wrap, you'll see. That's because I got it from a disc replay or my local game shop. And sometimes they wrap them up. Not all the time, but some of them will be wrapped up. And we just, if it wasn't a game that I had heard of, we didn't open it to try it. Baseball, my favorite sport. My son actually has baseball practice today. That game's actually fun
At 5:30.
for NES. Baseball Simulator 1000. Baseball Stars. And again, you're going to see a lot of... My games are all in alphabetical order. So you're going to see a lot of baseball games here right at the beginning. Baseball Stars 2.
Baseball.
Bases Loaded. Okay, this series is good. Bases Loaded is one of my favorite baseball series on NES. As they get... There's 4 of them. So we got Bases Loaded 3. With Ryan Sandberg. Bases Loaded 4 is actually pretty hard to get. Relatively expensive. I mean, I can't remember exactly. You know, there's a lot of games, and I've done a lot of collecting even within the year of wrapping these up. NES games. So I don't remember the prices 100%, but I think this one was like about $40. So, I mean, for a baseball game, you know, for a sports game, it's pretty expensive, so it's pretty cool. It's kind of rare. There's another one called, like, a softball game. I forget which one that's called. I might have showed it already. But, yeah. I'm going to throw up another row of games, and we're going to get through it. That's the first 12.
Yeah.
Alright, so how I'm doing it is basically I'm grabbing, like, 12 games, and I'm lining them up on the shelf so that they're easier to show to you guys.
Yeah.
So, that's why you'll see a few cuts in the video. But, I apologize if I'm not, like, going into crazy detail about each game. But the videos would be enormously long if I explained every game. But any game that means a ton to me, I'll point out. Or some of the pricier ones, or the rare ones, I will point out. And if any of these are your favorite games, leave a comment. Let me know what your top 5 NES games are. Top 10. What you like, what you don't like, things like that. Let me know.
Yeah, and he'll actually answer you.
Yeah, I respond back. I like to chat. Alright, so next up, without further delay, Batman Returns. It was one of my last 100. I do remember that for some reason. Batman the video game. You know, just kind of casual Batman games, really. But this one is hard. Okay, first of all, I love the label. I do want to point that out. That is one of my favorite labels on NES.
Which one?
Batman Return of the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
And that game is actually super hard. You can check some gameplay from Angry Video Game Nerd, I think, or Mike and James Monday or something. They play
James
that.
and Mike.
James, yeah, he plays the full playthrough, I think. But yeah, that game's hard. That game's really hard. We got Battle Chess.
Just chess.
Which I haven't even opened, actually.
It's probably just chess.
This is another label I love. It reminds me of Game of Thrones, kind of, like that era. the label just looks really good. Some games... Alright, so when you're going through and you're collecting the NES library, one thing you're going to notice is you're not going to know every game. So a lot of it you base on labels, you know? And some really stick out to you. And this, like, that was one of them that really stuck out to me. Love that label. Battleship. Who doesn't love Battleship? Battle Tank. My son said that was one of his favorites.
Yep.
Didn't you, Lily?
Yep.
I love that label too. It almost looks fake. Like, I thought it was fake at first, but it's not. Okay. Battletoads. I'll take a second to talk about this one.
Sounds good.
I have 2 copies. I actually think I have like 3 or 4 copies. But I have 2 copies up here because this one was from my childhood when I was little. 31 years old. So this was when I was like 3, I think. 3 years old. And I've had it ever since. Me and my brother Sam have mostly all of our older games that we grew up with. We still have the original copies. Now, Battletoads. Not only is it one of my childhood games, but it's incredibly hard. Anyone who has played it knows that that game is in like the top 10 hardest games. Like, you could probably Google top 10 hardest games and that'll be in there. It's that damn surfing level, or you know, kind of like a surfing, you're on almost like a glider board kind of thing and you're dodging walls. That's the level that scarred all of us in our youth. So there we got Battletoads Double Dragon. That's a pricier one. That's like $70, 50 to $70, I think. Yeah, basically, it's Double Dragon Battletoads. It's like a fighting beat 'em up. It's actually a pretty fun game. It's kind of pricey though. Beetlejuice, classic Beetlejuice. I have played this game, but this one isn't rap. But I've played that along the way somewhere. An Angry Video Game Nerd, shout out to him, also does some gameplay on that one.
Shout out to you, Mike.
Yep. This label is clean. Look how minty that label is. That's a clean label.
Beetlejuice?
Nah. Best of the Best Karate.
Ooh,
Has a clean label. So, alright, we're going to throw 12 more up and go through them. 1 second. Alright, guys. Got some more games set up here. I was going through them and I noticed a lot of them are kind of boring, so we'll make this one quick. I think I'm going to do a couple more. See him down there? I think I'll do another row or so to make up for how long it took for episode 2. So, the Black Bass. Bionic Commando. That game is actually pretty good. That's a favorite of a lot of old timers. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I heard they're actually coming out with a new series or a movie or something like that with Keanu Reeves. So I'm looking forward to that. Huge fan of Keanu Reeves. Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge.
Good.
Bigfoot. Clean label, boy. I do have a standard. Some of them I did have to make exceptions for that I bought in big lots, like this one. It's a perfect example. That is actually not up to my standards. Tried to get most games really clean. But I wasn't going to, like, say, if I didn't have a game, right, and I was buying, like, 50 games from somebody, I'm not going to say no, you know, I just threw it in there. Blues Brothers. Don't think that's real expensive, but it's kind of uncommon. I'd say it's uncommon. A little harder to find.
That's why I like that game. The
Blue Marlin. Clean label. That one's actually kind of uncommon too, believe it or not. At least for me it was. Anything I say like that, it was for me. I don't know. Some, you know, there's 678 games. 677 or something like that in the library. So some are going to be easier than others for some people. Okay, I'm going to put another stack up there. Yeah, just to show you that I'm a huge fan of Keanu Reeves. There is my Neo Pop from The Matrix. The Matrix is one of my favorite movies. So, I'm going to throw some more games up there. Alright, so we added a few more games up here. Let's get going. We got Bomberman, the first one. Then that one's only like 10, 20 bucks or something like that. Now this one is a big boy. This is one of the, what I like to call demi grails. I think it's about 150. I think that's a big boy. Shout out to Bomberman Sam, my brother. Yeah, that one's tough to get. Boulder Dash, not so hard to get. Dracula, okay. Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is actually a hard game, but it's a pretty good game as far as NES standards. It was also on, it made it to like various platforms. I think it might have made it to Genesis and a whole bunch of them. Break Time, nothing crazy. Breakthrough, nothing crazy. Okay, Bubble Bobble. Now this is a super popular game. It's on the NES Classic. A lot of fan favorites on this one. A lot of fan favorites. Can't talk today. Fan favorites. Yeah, real popular game. Personally, I'm not into it that much, just because it's not my type of game. But, and then we got Bubble Bobble Part 2. This one is a big boy. This one is extremely expensive. I think it's like, I want to say like $275, $300 now. It's up there. Extremely expensive game. Pretty hard to find. Probably have to eBay that one if I'm being honest with you. Bucky O'Hare, another big boy. I think this one's right at about $100, $90 to $100.
Oh, me and my dad love that.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna take a second to talk about Bucky O'Hare though, because Bucky O'Hare is actually a really fun game. I didn't play it growing up, and me and my son, you know, I told you we test out all these games, try them out, and it's super fun. It's a lot of fun. I recommend that one. Like, it's actually worth the money. You know what I mean? Like, very rarely do you get an expensive rare game that's actually worth the money to own. You know, that one is. Birthday Blowout and Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle. Now my son has played a ton of this. He loves this game. It's actually a pretty fun game. You kind of like go through a castle. You got to go through different doorways and dodge bad guys.
You can't jump even
Kind of
though
like
you're a bunny.
Kind of like a maze puzzle game almost.
And you can't jump even though you're a bunny.
Also, I want to point out, remember, I am going to leave a game out. It's part of the game. If you don't know what game I'm talking about, watch episode 1, where I leave one game out each episode. And whoever can guess them all will be entered for a prize. So, pay close attention. I think I'm going to do one more row, guys. One more row for this episode and call it quits. So, Alright, last but not least for episode 2. We have Kala Fighter. Cabal. Caesar's Palace. I love gambling, so. California Games. Captain America.
Captain Marvel.
I'm actually a big Marvel fan. So I kind of want to play that game a little more. We just tested it out. Didn't really give it a huge play time. So I'd like to try that one out, especially with all the movies coming out and stuff. Oh, and if you're going to see in-game, leave a comment down below. Let me know you're a fan in-game and how you think they're going to take out Thanos. Last but not least for this episode, Captain Planet. I grew up watching that show. Captain Planet, he was around. So, yeah, that's it for this episode. Please stay tuned. I'll try to do episode 3 within a smaller time frame. Not 2 weeks this time. Apologize for that. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. The channel is growing a little bit. Really like to get a little more exposure, and it motivates me to do more videos quickly. I'm not doing it to become famous or super popular or money. I'm just doing it to show the games to the community and keep retro gaming alive and physical video game collecting alive. So that's why I do it. So if you could please like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it.
Cause he needs that merch.
My son is super into YouTube. He wants me to do merch. We're not that far yet, son. But anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. More videos coming soon. And I appreciate all the love, guys. All the love. And I'll see you guys next time.